You'd remember some time back in the newsroom, we brought you the story of how cow vigilantes in Punjab and Haryana were running amok. We sent out our special investigation team, this time into Uttar Pradesh, also parts of Haryana, to check whether things had changed on the ground. Remember, we sent one Gau Rakshak to jail. The man who was supposedly running the Gau Rakshaks Samiti in Patiala. I called up to find out where he is. He's fortunately still in jail. But there are many others who seem to be emboldened. Instead of being worried of the law, they seem to be breaking the law. Sit back and watch as I bring you this explosive India Today investigation, Operation Cow Vigilantes, Part 2. Here it is.
Waylaid, dragged, whipped with belts, hit with iron rods. Pehlu Khan dies 3 days later. But this 55-year-old dairy farmer is not the only victim of the vigilante justice. At least 6 people have reportedly been killed and more than 24 injured in a series of attacks by self-styled cow protectors across the country since 2015. So if you still thought that all such assaults are spontaneous, watch this India Today special investigation into the dark world of these self-styled Gau Rakshaks. The vigilantes you see on your screens are not linked to the murderous assault on Pehlu Khan or his companions, but they are caught on our cameras describing their brutal methods, the violence they unleash on our streets and highways. Nagendra Kumar is a spokesperson for the Rashtriya Gau Raksha Dal. Hear him boast of how vigilantes are trained to execute near-fatal attacks on their potential targets.
हमारा एक मकसद है, जब पिलर के निकलो तो कनपटी के बरोबर के अपने डंडे लेके चलो। और जब वो तुम्हें नहीं छोड़ा तो तुम भी उसे कम से कम टांगे तो तोड़ ही दो, जो जीवन भर में उठे ना। और अलीगढ़ टीम हमारी अधिकांश ये करती है। राजस्थान से जो आते हैं अलीगढ़ से निकलती है ना गाड़ी। अगर उनके हाथ से लग गए तो हमारा सिस्टम क्या है? हमें पता चल जाती है, अपने सूत्रों से पता चलती है। देखो सब सूत्र होते हैं। मार कौन सी देते हो आप, क्या बता दो? पिटने वाली में मार ऐसी देते हैं, उस टाइम उसे पता नहीं चलेगी, पर 2 महीने के बाद उसे पता चलना चाहिए। क्योंकि वो जो कनपट्टी वाले जो डंडे होते हैं, मानना नहीं है भाई साहब, बड़े आपके खून भी नहीं निकालेंगे पूरे शरीर में। अगर खून निकल गया तो मारी खाएगी आपके। खून नहीं निकलना चाहिए और मारी बरोबर लगनी चाहिए। अच्छा, यही ट्रेनिंग होती है। पर मेन पॉइंट जो आपका था कि उसका होता क्या है, मेन पॉइंट यही होता है कि उसके पास 2 ऑप्शन होते हैं, भागना या पीटेंगे ऐसा, खून आपको निकलने नहीं देंगे। पर ये गारंटी हमारी है कि 2 महीने के बाद आप चल नहीं पाओ। मुकदमा कब नहीं लगेगा? मुकदमा तो जब ही नहीं लगेगा अगर मैंने आपको चौका मारा, खून निकला, तो कम से कम खून निकलने का मुकदमा मारा ना, तो मुकदमा तो लगना है, जरूर लगेगा। भाई हम गारंटी से कह सकते हैं कि राष्ट्रीय गौ रक्षा दल के पूरे 6 राज्यों में आप एक सदस्य पे भी मुकदमा कर सकते। 2 ऑप्शन होते हैं, भागना या पिटना।
So you heard cow vigilantes are taught to attack ferociously, but without causing external injuries to their victims, in order to dodge prosecution. Pushpendra Sharma, State President of the Gau Rakshak Dal in Uttar Pradesh, follows the same tactics.
जिसमें तुमने हाथ पैर तोड़े हो, उसके कैसे मार, मतलब चोट कैसे मारते हो उनके, ये पूछ रहा हूँ मैं।
चोट गुम में चोट देते हैं।
वही तो पूछ रहा हूँ कि खून ना निकले, किस तरह से?
गुम में चोट।
असलियों के अंदर
असली टूटा, सालों के टांगे टूटा, हड्डी चीज़ है। ऐसी ना कहता खोपड़े फाड़ दिया मर गया,
वो मत कर।
वो नहीं, उससे फिर हमारे कार्यकर्ता अंदर चले जाएंगे क्या बात है?
In public, Sharma advertises himself as a protector of cows. In private, he admits his squads are highway robbers of the sacred animals.
कार्यकर्ता ने हमारे ट्रक पकड़ा 20 गाय, तो उनके आसपास के जितने कार्यकर्ता हैं वो उनमें वितरित कर दिया। ऐसा नहीं कि वहां से गाय आए,
वो वही की वही अपने आपस में,
वो रिकॉर्ड उनके पास है।
Now we travel to Haryana and meet this man, Acharya Sarvamitra Arya, a senior leader of the state's Gau Rakshaks Dal. Listen in to how his gang ambushes livestock trucks.
हमारे लड़के आगे से रास्ता ब्लॉक करवा देते हैं, वो पहुँचेगी तो उसको घेर लेते हैं, फिर वो देखते हैं आगे रास्ता ब्लॉक है तो गाड़ी को चलती को छोड़ देते हैं, ये गाड़ी कहीं भी जाओ और चलती से कूद के भाग जाते हैं। जी बिल्कुल मजबूत, तो हमारे पास लगभग 3000 तो लड़के बिल्कुल मजबूत हैं।
नहीं जो मतलब मार पिटाई में मजबूत हो, ऐसे नहीं कमजोर टाइप, मतलब पता चला कि भाई उनसे पिट जाए या जो।
हाँ, पिटने वाला एक भी नहीं,
पीट के आएंगे।
हाँ वो पीट पाएंगे तो मेवात में ले चलो तो।
नहीं तो ये लड़के जो हैं ये जब मारते हैं उनको तो कैसी चोट मारते हैं, ऐसी तो खून निकले या कैसी चोट मारते हैं?
नहीं खून लिखने वाले नहीं मारते, तो जैसे मुक्का मार दिया, लात मार दी, कोनी मार दी, या कोई छोटा मोटा डंडा है तो भी 7 लोग यहाँ पैरों को मार।
कोनियों से मतलब? हाँ, अंदर गुम चोट लगे।
गुम चोट। हमारा लड़का कोई भी ऐसा किसी को कोई वो नहीं, सख्त निर्देश ये है कि भी ऐसी चोट कोई नहीं मारे जिससे खून आए या उसकी मृत्यु हो। गुम चोट मार
अंदर से टूट जाए,
अंदर से टूट जाए, कोई बात
नहीं। Intolerance in the name of cow protection is turning increasingly lethal. High time authorities crack down on this lynch mob mentality before it becomes an epidemic. With Syed Masroor Hassan, this is Muhammad Hizbullah for India Today's Special Investigation Team.
Will Yogi Adityanath in Haryana, in Uttar Pradesh, also the Chief Minister of Haryana, clamp down on these cow vigilantes? Why is the Prime Minister's warning having no impact? Joining us on the India Today newsroom right now, I want to introduce Vikram Singh, former Director General of the Uttar Pradesh Police, a highly respected officer. Sir, good evening. Welcome. Priyanka Chaturvedi is representing the Congress party tonight. Sanju Verma is a spokesperson of the BJP. Tushar Gandhi is a well-known social activist. Nikita Anand is an animal rights activist. I want to go across to Vikram Singh first. You see this investigation. These are not common people. These are not Rakshaks, they are Bhakshaks. These are virtual demons, hounds. They're out trying to beat up people. As a former Director General of the Uttar Pradesh Police, Vikram Singh, what do you make of Operation Gau Rakshaks?
You very rightly articulated that they are Bhakshaks. Till now they were presumed to be roadside petty criminals, but then look at the level of their planning, the knowledge of law, and how to inflict third-degree torture without getting into the medico-legal hassles. Inflict injuries below the waist, see to it that there is no bleeding, inflict an injury in a manner that there is internal fracture so that it is not obvious and you're not prosecuted for 307 or sections that are even worse. Therefore, I would say that some kind of complacency at the top level, the symptom of looking the other way, has emboldened them to the extent.
You think the system is looking the other way?
I would presume so. Otherwise, this level of planning and execution is impossible. Look at their execution, the roadmap, the planning, that how they enter, how they develop their intelligence, and how they inflict injuries.
These are mafia gangs, they're operating like that.
Obviously, and inflicting injuries below the waist. How do they train them? Somebody obviously has indoctrinated them, trained them. That is why they say this would take an operation of not fewer than 15 minutes. Do you think that no patrol car, no 100 dial 100 would reach them in 15 minutes? And if that be the case, then why with a capital
Fantastic
W?
questions. Very, very important questions. Sanju Verma must respond. The former Director General of Uttar Pradesh Police saying the system is looking the other way. There's no way that a quick response team of the police cannot reach in the amount of time it takes for these Gau Rakshaks, Farzi Gau Rakshaks, to beat up any normal person. And secondly, look at their planning. They know how to beat someone, where to beat someone, so they don't end up in trouble. Sanju Verma, why is the system looking the other way? Is the system looking the other way? How do you respond to Vikram Singh?
Rahul, I totally disagree with Mr. Vikram Singh, who I have tremendous regard for. I don't think the system is looking the other way. Let us not forget that post-independence, 64 out of 70 years, it's the Congress Samajwadi Party and Bahujan Samajwadi Party which have ruled Uttar Pradesh. If anything, the law has actually started cracking the whip, be it on errant cattle smugglers, be it on the crime graph which has started receding. But you know, you have started,
Sanju,
and I think it's great that the media is holding the
we're not talking about what happened in the last 64 years.
No
1 second, Sanju, just hear my question. No, 1 second, Sanju. You know, what happened in the past 64 years now matters very little because of everything they did, omissions and commissions. Sanju, you can't be heard right now, so you'll have to listen to my question before you can be heard. Because of everything previous governments did, they were voted out of power. This story was not filmed when the Samajwadi Party government was in power. This story was filmed on the BJP's watch. Look at the brazenness. Look at the brazenness with which these vigilantes think they can get away with it. Obviously, they feel that no matter what they do, the law will not clamp down on them, which is why not just do they do these things, they act as hounds, but they're also boasting about it.
To ask a question, can I please respond?
So don't talk about Congress and Samajwadi Party, they don't matter. Talk about what's happening on your watch.
Let me give a response to you. So that's exactly what I'm telling you. I'm telling you that if there is a law and order problem, the law is cracking its whip. You are the people who said, why have illegal slaughterhouses been banned? So first learn to accept that
we never said that. Sanju Verma, don't make up things. 1 second, Sanju Verma. When did we ever say that why have Sanju, each time you go off topic, just turn that fader down. Sanju, we never, not once said that illegal slaughterhouses should not be banned. I didn't say it, our channel did not say it, Vikram Singh did not say it. Don't come up with the weakest defense. Nobody said that illegal slaughterhouses should not be banned. Is this legal? What's happening on your watch? Cow vigilante is running wild. How can this be legal? Don't talk about things we did not say. Answer what you must respond to.
In any form. But that does not mean that you will not see the fact that actually the crime graph has started receding. Where were you when 1,000 rapes took place in a matter of 6 months last year? Why were you not vigilant enough?
1 second, Sanju Verma, you're just making up facts. Which universe do you inhabit? Which channel went out and did the first investigation on... 1 second, you have just turned that fader down. Which channel went out and did Cow Vigilantes Part 1? We went out and exposed in Punjab and Haryana and we showed just... Let me pull those clips out. Sanju's forgotten. Sanju, you clearly have a very short memory. Let me put this out for you. Sit back, watch excerpts from Operation Gau Rakshaks Part 1, after which the Prime Minister, none less, the Prime Minister took notice of our story, sent out a very, very stern message. Sanju's forgotten all about it. I haven't. Here are some excerpts.
अगर ये गुंडागर्दी है, ये लोग गौं को बचाने वाले को गुंडे का दर्जा मिलता है, तो मैं देश का सबसे बड़ा गुंडा बनने के लिए फख्र समझूंगा अपने आप को। मैं देश का सबसे बड़ा गुंडा, ये मुझे खुशी होगी।
पहले था एक रंजिश होती थी कि ये गौ माता को ऐसा कर रहे हैं, जुत्ती फेर लेते थे तसल्ली से, फिर अभी भी लेते हैं। पुलिस के सामने थोड़ा होता, फैंटी फिर भी लगा लेते हैं। पहले ये था फैंटी पेशाब कुछ उसके मुंह में कर देना। तलवारें भी होती है, देखो अभी पड़ी है हमारे पास, वो तलवार पड़ी है, त्रिशूल पड़ा, डंडे पड़े हैं, ऐसे हथियार है हमारे पास। ट्रेनिंग आप लोग ट्रेनिंग करवाते हो? मैंने नहीं ऐसे ही चला जाता है। नहीं, लेकिन जिसका दिल्ली ना हो, जैसे दुनाली पकड़ के बहुत शक्ल से मेरे से ज्यादा तगड़ा लगता था लेकिन दिल नहीं। ऐसे पैरों पे क्यों मार रहे हैं, पीछे क्यों मार रहे हैं? पैरों पे दर्द होता है बहुत ज्यादा, उसमें ये होता है, फायदा ये हो जाता है इसका। पुलिस केस 3rd डिग्री देनी है, पुलिस केस नहीं बनता।
Sanju, you were saying what were we doing in the past 6 months? I just played out excerpts from Part 1. This is not a story that's being touched the first time. Earlier, the Samajwadi Party government was in power. That is when the story was done. So please don't try and tell me what we should and should not do. Let me now show you what your super boss, India's Prime Minister, said after we ran Cow Vigilantes Part 1. Here it is, the Prime Minister himself.
मैं कभी-कभी ये जो गौ रक्षा के नाम पर कुछ लोग अपनी दुकानें खोल करके बैठ गए हैं, मुझे इतना गुस्सा आता है। गौ भक्त अलग है, गौ सेवक अलग है। पुराने जमाने आपने देखा होगा कि बादशाह और राजाओं की लड़ाई होती थी, तो बादशाह क्या करते थे, अपनी लड़ाई की फौज के आगे गाय रखते थे राजा को परेशानी होती थी कि लड़ाई में अगर हम शस्त्रों का वार करेंगे तो गाय मर जाएगी, तो पाप लगेगा, और इसी उलझन में वो हार जाते थे। और वो भी बड़ी चालाकी से गाय रखते हैं। मैंने देखा है कि कुछ लोग जो पूरी रात एंटी सोशल एक्टिविटी करते हैं, कुछ लोग, लेकिन दिन में गौ रक्षक का चोला पहन लेते हैं। मैं राज्य सरकारों को अनुरोध करता हूं कि ऐसे जो स्वयंसेवी निकले हैं, अपने आप को बड़ा गौ रक्षक मानते हैं, उनका जरा डोजियर तैयार करो। 70-80% ऐसे निकलेंगे जो ऐसे गोरख धंधे करते हैं जो समाज स्वीकार नहीं करता है, लेकिन अपनी उस बुराइयों को से बचने के लिए ये गौ रक्षा का चोला पहन करके निकलते हैं।
The Prime Minister gets it. He so totally gets it. Throughout the night they're doing anti-national activities, anti-social activities. During the day they pretend to be Gau Rakshaks. Tushar Gandhi, the Prime Minister sending out this very stern message after Cow Vigilantes Part 1. It doesn't seem to have gone down to the ground. People still doing what they were doing in the past, in some cases more emboldened than before.
The words really don't count much, because unless the words are backed up by actions, they'll ring hollow. And to me, the Prime Minister's words ring very hollow in the face of what is happening all across the country right now. And so it's mere lip service will not work, because this is a very insidious plan to subvert the law and order machinery and to create a completely parallel vigilante law enforcement cadre, which will create fear. It's like the beginning of the Third Reich.
I don't know whether we can go that far. That's just over the top and totally dramatic, but there is a problem. There is a problem, and that problem needs to be looked at. Priyanka Chaturvedi, Tushar Gandhi saying that words are not enough, but we just played out what the Prime Minister felt, and his words were heartfelt, they were strong, they were stern. He was sending out a very, very direct message. There were people in the RSS, I know, who were upset with the Prime Minister saying that 70-80% of them are anti-social elements. People felt maybe it's the other way around, but despite what the Prime Minister felt and said, things don't seem to have changed much on the ground.
No, firstly, when he had made those statements, we had welcomed those statements, and we hoped that they would be backed up by action. What has really happened is not really something that the country has seen in terms of action, where the Prime Minister's words are very, spoken about and very impactful, yet we do not see action on ground. We had recently a case in Rajasthan where Pehlu Khan was lynched. He was almost, he died, and yet we do not have his, the people who were accused yet arrested. We had the Chief Minister of Rajasthan tweeting about Stockholm terrorist victims, but she didn't have the time to talk about the Rajasthan case. We had the same thing with the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister did not speak about it. When vigilantism has got legitimacy through this government and all the various state governments, if I remember and recall Prime Minister's words, he had also asked the state governments to take action against them. Did the Prime Minister's office seek accountability report from them, action taken reports from them? Did the chief ministers take any kind of action after the Prime Minister had spoken those strong words that he did? No, we haven't. You are seeing your own reports are showing how vigilantism has only increased, and where there's no fear of law, and they only feel
the self-styled president of the Gau Rakshaks Dal, he's in jail. You know, I told my reporter, find out where he is. He still is in jail. So the day after our story, the man was sent into jail. So it's not as if nothing has happened. Clearly, enough isn't happening, and that's the reality. Sanju Verma, the Prime Minister, one second Priyanka, Sanju Verma, the Prime Minister comes on record, decries these Gau Rakshaks, and yet they are more emboldened, Sanju.
Reduced to 7 in Uttar Pradesh.
Sanju,
and that is what your score will be in the next
Sanju,
Lok Sabha
forget the Congress party, okay? Your party has been voted to power. We are judging you for what is happening on your watch. Don't keep talking about the Congress and the Samajwadi party. Answer for what's happening on your watch.
Are you the Congress spokesperson?
I am not, and I don't care in the least for how the Congress is doing. I'm asking you about what's happening on your watch. You are not making your point. You're using diversionary tactics.
Proxy spokesperson for the Congress, can I make my point? Stop being a proxy spokesperson.
Sanju, can you stop casting aspersions and answer the question you're being asked?
But stop being this
Sanju,
proxy for her.
stop casting aspersions. Answer the question you're being asked.
In 2015,
when they don't have answers,
you know, Sanju Verma, this is really poor debating tactics. You know, she has no answer, Vikram Singh. She's talking about the whole world. She's talking about Mahatma Gandhi. She's talking about Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. She's talking about the whole world.
We have an agenda.
Yes.
What the Prime Minister has said ideally should have been the roadmap for all chief ministers, especially when the problem has assumed epidemic proportions. What the Prime Minister said, 90% of these vigilantes are anti-social element. Dossiers should be prepared and a surveillance should be ordered against them.
Obviously that hasn't happened.
And if that's not had to happen, then why? In Alwar, what we said, has any police officer been suspended? No. Has any reward been declared? Yes. But no attachment proceedings have also followed. This is a very lukewarm way.
What about Benazir Suraya? Why don't you talk about her?
Okay, Nikita Anand. Nikita Anand, just turn the trader down. Nikita Anand. Sanju, I'm coming to you in a moment. You will answer the question that you're being asked. You know, don't keep talking about the Congress, the Samajwadi Party. In this story, they don't matter. When they matter, we'll talk about them. You're not answering the questions you're being asked and you're using all kinds of diversionary tactics. Nikita Anand, you're an animal rights activist yourself. These are people who claim to be Gau Rakshaks. Are you prepared to concede that in the guise of being Gau Rakshaks, this whole movement has been hijacked by anti-social elements and enough is not being done?
Well, Rahul, two things first. And this is a point that you had raised earlier, right in the beginning, if the police was doing its job, then I would not be here. Second thing, these criminals, how do you call them Gau Sevaks? Because they are not. Gau Rakshaks, Gau Sevaks are it's a very, very pious term. And I say that simply because our freedom fighters were Gau Rakshaks. My guru Yogi Ashwini ji is Gau Rakshak. I am, but that does not mean we're criminals. Ram, Krishna, Maharana Pratap, Shivaji, all Gau Sevaks. They were Gau Rakshaks. And when you talk about a Gau Rakshak or a Gau Sevak, please understand that anyone just calling themselves a Gau Rakshak does not make them one.
Absolutely.
Like even our Honorable Prime Minister said, he said people who are masquerading as Gau Rakshaks.
Absolutely.
Masquerading as Gau Sevaks. So we need to understand what the situation is. Also another point is that when we talk about Gau Raksha, you are defending the weak. You are speaking about the rights of the animals who have no voice. It does not depend, it is actually completely independent of any political party. Having said that, yes, it is a bold step that the government has taken. I completely agree with what the Honorable Prime Minister has also said. The law is not being enforced. Why is this point conveniently being ignored? Why is it being forgotten? And I just want to bring up small cases. Jagdish Cold Storage and Madras Port Trust. Here, thousands of tons of beef, not 100, thousands of tons of beef have been unearthed. Now, lab tests have been done and it has been proven that it is cow meat, that is beef. Now, my question is, how is this thing allowed to happen? There are laws in place. Why are they not being enforced? And also, mind you, when there are such illegal activities happening, the funds, and this goes into trillions, when such funds, illegal funds are being generated, it is only going to fund anti-national activities.
Absolutely.
There is
Sanju
absolutely
Verma,
no ambiguity in this. This is what
I hope you will answer the question that you asked and not go off on an irrelevant tangent, Sanju. You know, you heard the animal rights activist Tushar Gandhi, Vikram Verma, Vikram Singh, people with
Rahul,
different opinions.
Make a point?
If you just listen to my question and answer to the question that I asked you, I will allow you to make a point, Sanju. My question, Sanju, is this. Clearly, the government is not doing enough. The cops on the ground are not acting in the manner that they should, which is why these Gau Rakshaks believe they can get away with what they want. Please, Sanju, please respond just to my question.
Your question is whether the government is doing enough on the ground or not. And let me tell you, Rahul, before coming here, I went through one of the stories on the India Today website, which says that one of the big steps which the Modi government is doing to curb these kind of cow vigilantes is to curb illegal cattle and cow smuggling, and most of it happens on the porous 4,100 kilometer Indo-Bangladesh border.
where on an average anywhere between 5,000 to 20,000 cows are smuggled.
That's a different issue. Sanju Verma, our audience is made up of very intelligent people. You're talking about cow smuggling again. I have gone down on the ground myself. We've sent our reporters down. We have tracked cow smuggling in Assam, in Bangladesh more closely than any other channel. This investigation is not about cow smuggling. This is not about cow smuggling. These are about Gau Rakshaks on the rampage. Tushar Gandhi, what do you make of the BJP spokesperson's defense strategy tonight?
Well, it is an admission of guilt rather than a defense strategy, because she is unable to defend the questions raised to her. She is not answering any of the pertinent questions or pointed questions being asked, because she doesn't have a defense for them.
You know, this is really unfortunate, because what is required really, Vikram Singh, is for the government to say, these are not our people, we will go after them. This is not, like the Prime Minister said it, I don't know why can't Sanju say it. She's running around in circles talking about cow smuggling, talking about Samajwadi Party, talking about the Congress. She should say, if someone's breaking the law, we will come down. Why is it so difficult for the BJP spokesperson to say it, Mr.
6th August 2016, the Prime Minister was very, very clear, unambiguous in what he said. I really see no reason why that cannot be the charter for all Chief Ministers, Director General of Police, to go after the genuine and legitimate. Look here, a Gau Rakshak is somebody who's in the company of divine people like the Gurkhas, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, and not riffraffs who have company in Dasna and Tihar. As of now, as very rightly articulated by some, that these Gau Rakshaks, the pseudo Gau Rakshaks, are rather Swayam Sevaks who need to be put behind bars.
No, yes, and the Prime Minister said they are masquerading. They are not, they are anti-social elements.
Criminal elements.
Why are you running around in circles, Sanju? Why is it so difficult to say, if somebody breaks the law, we will come down on him? The Prime Minister said it. Why are you running left, right and centre?
I'm saying we do not support vigilantism. The problem is not allow you to get away with your narrative simply because you want me to say something and I am not saying what you want me to say.
I don't want you to say anything. I want you to say what is right. I want you to say what is just. I want you to say what is legal. I want you to say what your conscience is telling you to say. And clearly your conscience is not irked enough to say that these fake Gau Rakshaks should be clamped down on. They should be locked up. One fellow is in jail. The others need to be put in jail. It's as simple as that. Nikita Anand, do you agree that the very simple strategy is you break the law, the might of the Modi government, the might of the Yogi government, the might of the Khattar government, they need to come down on these vigilantes. They are bloodthirsty hounds. That's what they are.
Yes, Rahul, when I speak for myself and I speak for the entire Dhyan Foundation as well, we are all law-abiding citizens of India. We work for animals within the legal framework of the country. We do not go against the law and we do not promote or encourage any sort of violence or violent activity. We do not do that. Again, coming back to Gau Rakshaks. Gau Rakshaks, let me tell you who Gau Rakshaks are. Gau Rakshaks are sensitive, emotional people. They do what they do because they feel. And any person who is sensitive towards animals will not harm another human being. Will definitely not kill another human being or even beat them for that matter. So these people that we're talking about are simply criminals. They're not Gau Rakshaks, they're not Gau Sevaks. They don't
Those
feed
who've just tuned
cows.
into our broadcast.
They don't feed cows. They don't support any
You could be a
goshalas.
BJP supporter, you could be a Congress supporter, an SP supporter, an AAP supporter. It doesn't matter. These are not party men. These are not even sensible people. These are law breakers. They are bloodhounds. Sit back as I bring out some excerpts. Just listen to what they're saying. It makes my blood boil. The manner in which, the brazenness with which they talk about breaking people's legs, their hands. The Prime Minister's already drawn the line. They should be locked up. That is something which needs to be reaffirmed. That's the whole point of Operation Gau Rakshaks Part 2.
हमारा एक मकसद है, जब भी लड़के लिख लो तो कनपट्टी के बरोबर के अपने डंडे लेके चलो। और जब वो तुम्हें नहीं छोड़ा तो तुम भी उसे कम से कम उसे टांगे तो तोड़ ही दो, जो जीवन भर में उठे ना। और अलीगढ़ टीम हमारी अधिकांश ये करती है। अलीगढ़ से राजस्थान जो आते हैं, अलीगढ़ से निकलती है ना गाड़ी। अगर उनके हाथ से लग गए तो हमारा सिस्टम क्या है? हमें पता चल जाती है, अपने सूत्रों से पता चलती है। देखो सब सूत्र होते हैं। मार कौन सी देते हो आप, ये बताओ। पिटने वाली में हम मार ऐसी देते हैं, उस टाइम उसे पता नहीं चलेगी, पर 2 महीने के बाद उसे पता चलना चाहिए। क्योंकि वो जो कनपट्टी वाले जो डंडे होते हैं, मानना नहीं है भाई साहब, बड़े आपके खून भी नहीं निकालेंगे पूरे शरीर में। अगर खून निकल गया फिर मारी खाएगी आपके। खून नहीं निकलना चाहिए और मारी भी बरोबर लगनी चाहिए। अच्छा, यही ट्रेनिंग होती है। पर मेन पॉइंट जो आपका था उसका होता क्या है, मेन पॉइंट यही होता है कि उसके पास 2 ऑप्शन होते हैं, भागना या पीटेंगे ऐसा खून आपको निकलने नहीं देंगे। पर ये हमारी है कि 2 महीने के बाद आप चल नहीं पाओ। मुकदमा कब नहीं लगेगा? मुकदमा तो जब ही नहीं लगेगा अगर मैंने आपको चौका मारा, खून निकला, तो कम से कम खून निकलने का मुकदमा मारा ना, तो मुकदमा तो लगना है, जरूर लगेगा। भाई हम गारंटी से कह सकते हैं कि राष्ट्रीय गौ रक्षा दल के पूरे 6 राज्यों में आप एक सदस्य पे भी मुकदमा
जिसमें तुमने हाथ पैर तोड़े हो उसके कैसे मतलब चोट कैसे मारते हो उनके, ये पूछ रहा हूँ मैं।
चोट गुम चोट देते हैं।
वही तो पूछो कि खून ना निकले किस तरह?
गुम चोट,
पसली
टूटे, सालों गए, टांगे टूटे, हड्डी चीजें ऐसी ना कहता खोपड़े फाड़ दिया मर गया,
वो मत
वो नहीं। उससे फिर हमारा कार्यकर्ता अंदर चले जाएंगे। क्या कार्यकर्ता ने हमारे ट्रक पकड़ा 20 गाड़ी, तो उनके आसपास के जितने कार्यकर्ता हैं वो उनमें वितरित कर दिया। ऐसा नहीं कि वहां तक आए
वो अपने आपस में,
वो रिकॉर्ड उनके पास है।
हमारे लड़के आगे से रास्ता ब्लॉक करवा देते हैं, वो पहुंचेगी तो उसको घेर लेते हैं, फिर वो देखते भी आगे रास्ता ब्लॉक है तो गाड़ी को चलती को छोड़ देते हैं, ये गाड़ी कहीं भी जाओ, और चलती से कूद के भाग जाते हैं।
बिल्कुल मजबूत, तो हमारे पास लगभग 3000 तो लड़के बिल्कुल मजबूत हैं।
जो मतलब मार पिटाई में मजबूत हो, ऐसे नहीं कमजोर टाइप, मतलब पता चला कि भाई उनसे पिट जाए या जो भी।
हाँ, पिटने वाला एक भी नहीं,
पीट के आएंगे।
हाँ, वो पीट के आएंगे, मेवात में ले चलो तो।
नहीं तो ये लड़के जो हैं जब मारते हैं उनको तो कैसी चोट मारते हैं, ऐसी तो खून निकले या कैसी चोट मारते हैं?
नहीं, खून लिखने वाले नहीं मारते, तो जैसे मुक्का मार दिया, लात मार दी, कोनी मार दी, या कोई छोटा मोटा डंडा है तो भी 7 लोग यहाँ पैरों को मार।
कोनियों से मतलब? हाँ, अंदर गुम चोट लगे।
गुम चोट। हमारा लड़का कोई भी ऐसा किसी को कोई वो नहीं, सख्त निर्देश ये है कि ऐसी चोट कोई नहीं मारा जिससे खून आए या उसकी मृत्यु।
When you play the comments made by Nagendra Kumar, Pushpender Sharma and Acharya Sarvamitra Arya together, what's very clear, if you're an investigator, is that they're all using the same language.
The same language.
They clearly have some strategy, some modus operandi. That there should be no visible hurt,
yes.
that there should be no injury, there should be no blood. They're all saying exactly the same thing in different states, different cities.
Obviously, the training ground is the same, the play field is the same, the agenda is the same, and the roadmap is the same. When you have a common denominator, obviously things are easy for the investigator, and it is very simple to come to the conclusion. Obviously, the trainer is the same, and the objective is the same.
Last time, everyone waited for the Prime Minister to weigh in, and only then was the action. Will we see quicker action this time, Sanju Verma, from the Yogi Adityanath government, from the ML Khattar government? Are you prepared to accept that these farzi cow vigilantes need to be acted against, that their place is in jail? Will you say that? One second, Priyanka, I'm just coming to you in a moment. Let Sanju have a
Rahul, ML Khattar's government was involved in the earlier report
as well.
Rahul.
And I'm glad you mentioned the word farzi cow vigilantes.
Coming from the Khattar government.
That is precisely my point, that this government does not support vigilantism of any kind. Be it a Ravindra Gaikwad or be it the gentleman who you just showed on the video clipping, who was, talking in a brash manner and indulging in false bravado. We will crack the whip, like we cracked the whip on 125 illegal slaughterhouses, like we ensured that VIPs and bureaucrats who were past their sell date had no business being in the government. We are going to ensure that Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas is not just a euphemism. This government leads by example.
Priyanka Chaturvedi, the BJP spokesperson saying if they've broken the law, the law will come down on them.
And the Congress slept and sat on it.
Priyanka Chaturvedi.
The government does not believe in giving jumlas.
No, I just like to repeat something, Rahul. Rahul, you mentioned that Khattar government was also part of the first report that you all had carried out, and the first report that you all had shown on how cow vigilantism is working in India. And then the Prime Minister spoke. We have Haryana again, which is in this report. Clearly shows what we need to do is these people need to be treated like criminals. The Prime Minister has to get all the state governments to crack the whip on them and ensure that they are behind bars. Secondly, we also need to find out how they are being funded for activities like these, because this needs, when you talk about training and a strategy, a well thought out strategy, and 3,000 people is what they're boasting of, then where are they getting these kind of funds from? So you cannot just, talk about cracking the whip and putting them behind bars, but also trying to understand where is all this coming from. And I quite like what Nikita is saying. Nikita is speaking from the perspective of an animal rights activist. What is unfortunate is this government is not using the entire issue of cow protection as animal rights. They're using it as a political tool because they have a different set of system in Northeast. They're speaking a different language in Goa. They're speaking a different language in other parts of the country. So it's more of a political tool.
Clearly, sending one person behind bars is not enough. You need to clamp down on this whole movement. After our last investigation, the leader in Rajpura was sent behind bars. That's not enough. The clamp down needs to be more stringent. The Prime Minister said, make a dossier, put them all behind bars. That's not happened. We're far from there. Mr. Gandhi?
No, you see what I said in the beginning, you have reaffirmed, because you have come to the conclusion that there's a nucleus that is running this agenda. There's a nucleus that is imparting that training, and I, for one, don't want to use that cow vigilante thing. I'm worried about this whole growing vigilanteism in our society, because it is subverting the law and order machinery, it is subverting the justice delivery machinery, and it's creating parallels on both fronts which are dangerous for any society's survival.
Okay,
that should be the thing that worries us.
I'm going to leave it here. The Prime Minister sent out a stern message the last time. Not enough follow-up action was done on the ground. I'm waiting to see what happens now. People like Vikram Singh have said it as it is. You can't speak so brazenly unless you're certain that you will have protection from the law. He's an officer of long standing. He's saying it very, very clearly. And I hope that the government acts and acts very firmly. We will track this closely. We're slipping into a break. We'll have a lot more for you. Welcome back. You're with us on the newsroom. Last night on the newsroom, we spoke about how the Prime Minister had set in motion what we hope would be the end of the VVIP culture in India. Today, we sent our reporters out to do a ground report and see whether netas were willing to give up their lal battis. Now, those in the BJP, most of them at least seemed rather willing, at least on the face of it, to give up their lal battis. But there were others in states like Bihar, in states like West Bengal, in states like Karnataka, who seem to think that the lal battis are a good thing and they don't want to let these lal battis go. Here's the story.
Prime Minister Modi's big crackdown on high-handed netas. In one fell swoop, Modi cracked down on VVIP culture's biggest symbol, the Lal Batti. So no more red beacons, netas have to live the Aam Aadmi life. While a number of BJP-ruled states immediately embraced Modi's big crackdown, non-BJP states like Tamil Nadu, Odisha and Arunachal Pradesh too were forthcoming. But others weren't so happy.
No, I do not know the decision, what is written in the decision. I will look into the decision, afterwards I will react.
This symbolism of removing a backlight or a top light or a beacon is pretty farcical, I think.
As netas stood divided, Uttar Pradesh's BJP MLA Mahendra Singh seemed not only unaware of the Prime Minister's anti-VVIP crackdown, but flouted all laws at a toll booth on the Moradabad-Bareilly highway, demanding that his whole convoy be allowed to pass without paying a single rupee as toll.
वो जीत पे मावता थे, थोड़े गुस्से में थे और उसी के चलते कुछ हमारे स्टाफ पे मार पिटाई के कुछ केस हुआ है.
As the Prime Minister comes cracking, netas remain unrelenting, from immediate fans to grudging critics to out-and-out mockers. Will the Prime Minister's move survive the wrath of these high-handed netas with VVIP privileges?
Bureau Report, India Today.
We're slipping into a break. We'll have more for you when we come back on the other side. Stay with us.